Hello, everyone. X Wall Kill Bethelite here. And I was talking to somebody not too long ago, and this is a lady complaining about honesty. And her view is that men primarily lie a lot or are dishonest. And I didn't really agree with her because, I thought, well, if men are the only ones that lie and are dishonest, the whole affair thing where you got this woman sleeping with this married man and she know he got a whole family, that stuff couldn't happen if just one gender was dishonest and another was just always honest. But one thing that we probably did agree on, I don't agree that just one gender is dishonest, but one thing we probably agree on is what the genders lie about, right? They lie based off what they're being judged on. If a guy is primarily being judged off how much money he got, then yeah, he may spend all his money on his car, this nice car, but his whole apartment is towed up. But that's okay because she ain't going to see that. First thing she's going to see is the car. He might lie about where he works. Hey, she's not going to know exactly where I work until later. I mean, he may lie about things to make it look like he has more money. He has more of this because this is oftentimes what they're being judged based off of. And you know what I mean? It's one of those things where it is what it is. Women don't typically have to lie about where they work or what their car looks like or anything like that because they're not judged based off of that. There were two girls talking about a guy who asked one of them out. This is at work. And they're talking about him, what his car looks like, laughing, joking, like how dare this guy think he's going to ask me out, type of a thing. So they're talking about his car, where he lives, things like that. Nothing to do with his personality. They didn't have nothing to say about him as a person. They're just completely judging him based off of what he's got. And the funny thing about it is both those two girls that were laughing about this guy and his living situation, his car and things like that, both of them lived at home with their parents. Both them women lived at home with their parents. One of them said they were going to continue to live with their parents until some guy got them a house and they would just move from their parents' house to his house. You're laughing at this guy and your situation is worse than his financially. So it's just what people are judged off of. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, there's probably true that guys lie about their finances. And as far as women, if women are judged based off how they look, there's a whole industry that makes money based off altering women's looks. Both are dishonest. Both the guys are dishonest and the ladies, typically. Not every guy, but you got a whole freaking industry with women putting hair in their head that don't belong to them, that came off of a horse. Or they putting hair in their head that came from some kid off in India some daggum where. They're doing all this stuff to change their appearance and freaking figurate into something the freak else. They got some kind of belt that you put on that squeezes their stomach in so they don't look as big. You know what I mean? They got makeup to cover up all kinds of flaws. They got people that don't got all their teeth put in, the false teeth. Uh, I mean, they got. I mean, the nails are fake, but oftentimes, but they got fake nails. They got fake breasts. They got fake booty. They got. Oh my God! Can you really talk about one gender being dishonest? When you look at what the genders are judged on, both of them attempt to be deceptive in that regard. They try to enhance things. And the funny thing about the whole discussion is, people used to think that if you want to be happy and avoid all that, just date a Jehovah's Witness. If you date a Jehovah's Witness, you ain't got to worry about a woman who got freaking horsehair in her hair, tied up freaking into a ball, hanging all the way up here. And you ain't got to worry about a woman they look like a burnt chocolate chip cookie, but they put on all kind of makeup to cover it all up. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about all that fakeness, so to speak. And you got the same type of dishonesty going on inside Jehovah's Witnesses. Because what Jehovah's Witness men are typically gauged on is position in the congregation, right? Position in the congregation is supposed to denote a certain level of Christ-like personality, or a certain level of reliability. You know what I mean? You can date this guy who is conducting the watchtower, giving talks, and things will be happy in your family. All of that is deceptive. The same thing that we've been talking about. Guys being deceptive about what they're judged on. And women being deceptive about what they're judged about. In the Jehovah's Witness organization, you have got people that get on that stage and they put on a performance that is nothing like what they really are in real life. You think you're going to go to the hall and you're going to date somebody, granted that they don't have the meetings going right now, but people who think that they're going to go to a Kingdom Hall and date somebody and get away from the downside of the dating game, so to speak, you are sorely mistaken, because you're going to go and sit in that Kingdom Hall and you're going to have some young lady raise her hand to give a comment. And this comment that she gives, sounding all eloquent, she's changing her voice and all of that, is nothing like how she talks in real life. It don't display her intellect level at all. I don't care how many doors you go knock on next to this person. They are able to manipulate the situation to make it look like they are better than they are. Jehovah's Witnesses, the Watchtower, that whole religion makes it easier for people to look better than they are. You got people that get up on the platform and give a talk, and this public talk does not at all reflect on this man's personality at all, or their comments, or conducting the watchtower. None of this stuff has nothing to do with who this person actually is. Because as far as skill level, anybody could really do that. Just about anybody could really do that. You do have a few people in the Jehovah's Witnesses that are darn near illiterate, and they have problems doing anything with regards to reading or anything like that. So they would have an issue with it. But most people, kids, are able to get up on the stage and give talks. Most people are able to do the things that Jehovah's Witness men are judged based off of in that religion. And that's how people end up in a marriage with a guy who is nothing like what he should be morally. Nothing at all like what he should be morally. Because the whole religion is disguising who these people really are. You really could not possibly have elders asking people all their personal business when it comes to sexual misconduct. You wouldn't be able to have pedophiles being reported and elders not reporting this stuff to the police and just letting the guy continue to go about doing what he does in the congregation if these people really were, quote unquote, shepherds and the like. How are they shepherding the flock and they are being given reports of pedophiles and they just let them go? They're not really shepherds. It's just something that they put in these books and in these magazines, and it ends up making these guys look better than they are. It don't take no skill to go take a group out in field service, say, hey, we're going to meet on this street. You guys go this way, you guys go that way. That does not mean this person is godly in all of that, because it's not possible. Just look at the numbers of the Australian Royal Commission. That stuff is not humanly possible. You cannot have a bunch of actual shepherds in all these congregations, and they don't even know what to do with pedophiles. Like, they don't even know to report a pedophile, to at least have that stuff investigated. They don't even know that. I remember where there was a divorce in our family. And, my stepdad was an elder. Supposed to be, the whole shepherd and all this other stuff. Well, there was the divorce. And after the divorce, we didn't hear from the guy. Like, he would come over, pick up his mail, go back about his business. We wouldn't even hear. And I think he's still an elder right now. This is what I'm saying. Like, after the divorce in my family, this guy disappeared. What happened to the whole shepherd thing? It's just something in a watchtower. It's something in a watchtower. People who think that they're going to find somebody who is godly because of the comment that they gave, or that they knocked on a door, or that they got up on a platform and gave a talk, they are mistaken. And then also, too, you got people that want to go and date a Bethelite, or somebody that gives talks because of prominence or something like that. How much do Bethelites make? Really? You trying to date a Bethelite because of prominence? And this guy, I remember when I was a Bethelite, and I couldn't even afford to get a box of the cereal that I wanted. I hated that Kashi cereal that they had at Bethel, and there were times where I couldn't even afford to just go get the cereal that I wanted. And and that's somebody that's supposed to be like a top-notch person, somebody that has no money at all, who's paying for this wedding? Like, the whole structure of Jehovah's Witnesses as far as dating and marriage is just completely messed up. It's completely messed up. Because these people date based off of how many comments the other person gave. These people date based off of this person basically knocking on doors. How many doors did they knock on, and how many hours did they spend knocking on these doors? Stop me when I'm wrong. Stop me when I'm wrong. So people in the quote unquote world may date a guy based off how much money he has or what his car looks like. People out in the quote unquote world may date a woman based off of how big her butt is and how she looks and things like that. You may think that sounds stupid, but how dumb is dating somebody based off of how many comments that they gave? How many times they raised their hand and answered these childish questions that they have in these magazines? Or how many letters that they wrote as they're doing letter writing and sending them out to people's houses. Like, oh my goodness. No wonder so many people's families experienced divorce within the Jehovah's Witnesses. Mine did. My family experienced divorce within the Jehovah's Witnesses. A title didn't have nothing to do with that. My stepdad had a title, elder, still had a divorce. Title meant nothing. Absolutely, positively nothing. So the whole deceptive part of dating and romance and the opposite sex being dishonest, they're no less or more dishonest than they were in the organization. If you leave Jehovah's Witnesses, don't think, oh my goodness, now people are dishonest. They were worse in the Jehovah's Witnesses. All these women dating some crazy freaking person just because he worked for free at Bethel. We had basket cases at Bethel. I told y'all about the guy who at the Wallkill facility, they had outside of the dining room a courtyard, and there was a guy that went out there and was eating the berries out there, and they ain't supposed to have been eaten. You got guys out there eating berries. I mean, in the yard and whatnot. I mean, I just can't even begin. You had this one guy that, you know, he I don't even want to get into all the craziness though. But basically, you have people at Bethel who are plumb crazy, and you got some woman who will date them thinking she's going to have the happiest family just because they work for free at Wallkill or Brooklyn or Patterson or Warwick now. I mean, I think the dating situation is better outside Watchtower than it is inside. Because a lot of people, what they try to do is date somebody outside and then convert them and bring them back. Why would they do that if the whole dating scene was so much better inside Watchtower? Why are there so many single people? Why are there so many single sisters if there are all these wonderful guys? Why are there so many divorces? Why are there so many unhappy couples? It's because Watchtower fooled a lot of people into thinking that the men in an organization that don't even know, they can't even protect their congregation from pedophiles, that those types of men are going to protect and guide and direct a family. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'm sure a lot of you guys dated in the organization, and you tell me, if how many times a person knocks on doors can reveal how well of a marriage mate they'll be, or if giving talks or reading a even reading a watchtower will tell you how good of a marriage partner this person will be. So comment down below. X Wall Kill Bethelite signing out.